Hi everyone, Mike here from Watch It Paint It, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make your own Skitarri Marshal using bits and pieces you probably already have lying around in your old Adeptus Mechanicus boxes. I'll start off by showing which pieces I'll be using. I'm going to mostly use the Vanguard Alpha body. The legs, cloak, and head will be exactly the same. I'll be using the arm with the arc maul, but I'll be changing the head of that, and instead of backpack 58, I'll be using number 48. For the right arm, I'll be using bit number 52, though 53 could work as well, and I'll be swapping out that gun. Now, the hardest part is the sword, though this is probably a waste of time because the Marshal can't use it. I found out after I built this that it's not on the datasheet, so use this if you want to, but you don't need to. For the pistol, I'll be using a gun from the Sulphur Hounds. I made mine as Raiders, so I didn't need the pistols. I'm going to use 49, though 62 looks usable as well. If you still have the backpack for the arc rifle, this is perfect and you should use it instead of backpack 48. I used mine for a different Kitbash, so I'll be taking an Admech symbol from an Electro Priest. You'll also need the head of the staff from an Electro Priest and a Servo Skull. I didn't have any laying around, and in an act of heresy I took one from a non-GW model. Okay, let's get building. The first step is to assemble the cloak and attach the head and legs. Next I'm cutting the head off the arc maul, and then I'm sanding the end flat. Now I've cut the end off one of the staves from the Electro Priests, and I'm going to glue that onto the end of the maul. Next I want to switch out the weapons on these two arms. I figure the best place to cut them is at the wrist. After they're cut, once again I'll sand the areas flat and glue the Sulphur Hound pistol onto the Alpha Vanguard arm. This is a minor thing, but the Marshal doesn't have an antenna on his backpack, so I'm cutting this one off. Now I'm going to create the rest of the backpack, first by adding this custom-built Servo Skull. The best place to find a Servo Skull is a spare from the Tech Priest Dominus, or an Engine Seer if you have one of those you don't plan on assembling. And like I said before, at the time of making this video I didn't have a spare arc rifle backpack, so I'm cutting the Admech symbol from an Electro Priest backpack. This one has lots of mecha dendrites that I'll definitely be saving for a future Kitbash. After flattening out the surface a bit, I'm cramming this Admech symbol with some milliput and then sticking it on. I'm using a combination of sculpting tools and a wet paintbrush to clean up the area before setting it aside to harden. Now comes the hard part, and I would say the optional part. If you really want this sword on the front, I'd recommend cutting out the middle and making it into a dagger. The way it is just way too long. I decided to hang mine on the side of the body by creating a sword hanger from green stuff. I'm first trimming off the details along the sides of the blade. And of course I need to cut this arm off, and through a combination of slow cutting and sanding, I have to remove the hand that's gripping the sword. There's a cable hanging along the side of the left hip, and I'm going to turn this into part of the sword hanger. I'm trimming off the loose part at the end and then gluing it to look like it's hanging from the waist. Now I'm flattening out some green stuff, and I'm no sculptor, so this is going to be super simple. I'm making a rectangle that fits over the part of the blade that had the ornamentation. Then I'm just going to roll that onto there and flatten it out a bit. After that, I'm making two super thin rectangles to go on either side of the big one. And once that's hardened, I'm going to super glue it into place. Now the Marshal is ready to have the rest of his body attached. The 2 weapon arms are ready, as well as the backpack. Like I said, the only hard part was the sword, so if you don't care about that part, you can make this dude in half the time. I'll definitely be making at least 1 more of these, and the new one won't be getting a sword. I went ahead and painted the finished Marshal just so you could see what it looked like. And here is the finished Skitarri Marshal. If you like this video, please subscribe. There's lots more Kitbashes on the way, as well as custom terrain, custom bases, and of course Ben and I are always making our regular how-to videos on painting our miniatures. Thank you very much to our patrons for supporting these videos. I hope you found this one useful, and thanks for watching.